just lost souls living in a world of sin, alone out here in the hills with strangers our only kin. There's a danger outside the walls of this town. You can see the fires burning and the red rain coming down. We walk the hills where evil treads, where the brave men fear to go. We'll drive the beasts that haunt the land back to the depths of hell below. They walk the hills where evil treads. They walk the hills where evil treads.
All right, hey there, everybody. Hey, we're going to be off to a little bit of a slow start here tonight. Just to kind of give those of you that are already online and watching kind of a little background about what happened. We were planning on doing our finale of our first campaign session of Whispers in Time tonight, but unfortunately one of our key players, Dragon, the one that plays our kind of resident crow character in Whispers of Time, unfortunately got held up at work and is not going to be able to even be here for any of the session that we had planned tonight. And without him, I didn't feel like it was really appropriate for us to kind of go on, since this was really going to be the culmination of our time in Florence. I kind of put the feeler out there to everybody and let them know, hey, you know, if you guys want to, I am game for doing something tonight. We can do Ozark Requiem, and very excitedly, Frick is ready to don the shoes of Papaw again, and he's just kind of gathering his stuff and getting ready, so I'm kind of killing a little bit of time here for you. But we will be doing, and he's here, there he is. So we are going to be doing the Ozark Requiem, Abaddon's Descent tonight, and it's going to be a get to know me for Papaw tonight. And I think, Frick, what we'll probably end up doing is, I think we're going to put you and I to the test.
Okay.
And
I'm down.
I've got a lot of stuff here, you know, from the campaign when we were playtesting Requiem. And for those
Sure.
of you that are out there that are maybe just tuning in for the first time and seeing the Ozark Requiem for the first time, this is actually was originally set up for a playtest for Everyday Heroes, a campaign book that I have been working on for about a year at this point, called Requiem. And for those of you out there that are watching right now, I can actually tell you Requiem is literally just around the corner. I have already submitted it to Drive-Through RPG, and as long as it passes all the formatting issues, hopefully within about a week, we will actually see Requiem up and running. I also had a meeting with the designer of Evil Genius Games Everyday Heroes last week. That meeting went very well, and their online app called Sidekick is going to be the host for Requiem, so that anybody that wants to use that can purchase that directly through Evil Genius Games on their Sidekick app.
And Chris, if I can step in just real
Mhm.
quick, if you don't mind, guys, I'm not just saying this because I've on here with Chris. Like I've tried this obviously with my Papaw character and everything that we're getting ready to show you tonight. It is so spooky and so much fun. You guys are gonna love it. So
I appreciate that. So that is with the sidekick thing with Evil Genius. That's probably going to be a little bit later in releasing, because it's not as easy as uploading a PDF, and then you go on, you pay for it, and you download it. Everything has to be formatted for the Sidekick system, but the good thing is everything's all written, all the art's done. Pretty much all I have to do is copy and paste into this program to kind of get it up and running. So for those of you that are fans that have been watching what we've been doing, especially with Requiem, I'm excited to be able to finally get this in your hands, and I appreciate the support that everybody has given us throughout this whole process. So thank you, and we're going to begin a night of improvisation here with Ozark Requiem, Abaddon's Descent. A little bit of background here. Papaw, the character that Frick will be playing tonight, is a member of a group of protectors of this community that has basically kind of taken up shop in Silver Dollar City in the Deep South. The entire world is in a post-apocalyptic setting, where the darkness has basically encroached and is attempting to destroy everything that is still living. Any kind of supernatural creature that you can imagine is out there. And if you kind of think of The Walking Dead, where it's not just zombies, but everything, including the kitchen sink, that is pretty much what the community here at Silver Dollar City is up against. I think where we had left off our last one-shot, Frick,
remind me. What was the last one?
Yeah, I think you guys had gone down into the caves beneath
Oh yes,
Silver Dollar City, because one of the kids had gone missing.
Yep.
And you all had faced the dreaded cave dwellers that resided in those deep dark caves.
That had been a long time coming. If I recall.
Yeah, it was actually kind of there was an earthquake that everyone kind of believed had disturbed possibly the creatures in the mines. But everything kind of laid quiet there, at least at the camp, for several weeks.
Yeah, we checked that out for a good long time and couldn't find it, so we were all like, okay.
Yeah, I think I had you guys pretty nervous there for a while, didn't I?
Yeah. We spent a while on that. We were kind of concerned. Remind me, what was the gentleman's name that told us the story about the cave dwellers? What was
that's Moses.
Moses, that's right. Yes, that's right. Good old Moses.
Yeah,
that horrifying cave dweller story. That horrifying story.
But at this point, I would say, time has passed. You had taken a decent amount of damage there, but you can certainly go and give yourself a nice full rest.
Yeah, now that I'm into Zoom, why don't I just log into the game? That'd be a good idea. Yeah.
I'll go ahead.
It makes it easier to play.
Rest. How about that?
Thank you. Being in the game does make it so much easier to control the character and stuff,
There we go. Yeah, you should be back up to full health.
And I'm officially in. There we go.
So a couple weeks have passed without, too much of an incident. You and the team, if you recall, had kind of liberated a nearby community that you had thought had really fallen to the outside influences, called Bella Vista.
Oh yes, that's
That was
right.
overrun by the vampires, correct?
Yep. I remember that now.
So, the leader of the Silver Dollar City community, which you'll see up there, Gabe Sergeant Rivers, has been sending out teams of individuals to kind of clean up Bella Vista.
Okay.
And search for any remnants, survivors, and so forth there. And that project has been going fairly well. You, as members of the protectors, have been accompanying some of those groups down there. But the good thing is that I'm going to pull you to that map here so you can kind of see
Awesome.
this. Kind of refresh your memory about where everything is at. You see it there?
There it is. Hold on, I was zoomed way out. There we go. Now we're back in. There's Bella
So,
Vista.
Silver Dollar City up here, and then Bella Vista was down here. This
Yep.
Crystal Cove area here was a little bit of a problem area for you guys up until recently. But that is that kind of overlook hill where you guys encountered that inbred family.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
weren't they such a good time?
yeah. And so you guys have kind of cleared that area out for the most part.
Uh-huh. I
Um,
did we set it on fire at that point? Did we
I,
set
I
that place
think
on fire?
the family abode
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
family farm there. Yeah, I think you guys did end up setting on fire.
Uh-huh. I remember
Um,
that.
so you've had some downtime, and I'll kind of give you just a moment here to kind of take a look at some things, and then we'll just kind of have a little conversation maybe between you
Sure.
and Gabe.
Okay. So I'm kind of just taking in the map here. Let's see. Oh, there's a haunted area. That's fun. All kinds of stuff out there. Hell on Earth. Rock. Okay. Eagle Nest. All right. Okay. Kind of getting the lay of the land here.
Mhm.
Oops, didn't mean to tag that one. Uh, Now I'm assuming this is a little bit closer to home, to Silver Dollar City, but where precisely, kind of frame for me where we ran like those first two or three missions we went and got what was it, salt or maybe not salt, but the material. I know there were
Either
certain materials.
yeah, salt
Where
and
was that
food
at?
and stuff. That was down
Yes,
in the
yeah.
fungal zone, down in
That was
this
down in the
area
fungal
right in
zone.
here.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
hmm
All right. Okay. Good deal. Okay. Oh, a whole bunch of food stock still down there too, apparently. Okay. All right. I think I got the lay of the land here.
Yeah, the food stock down there is really, I mean, kind of yours for the taking if you want to risk it.
Okay.
Silver Dollar City is in a perfect position right here to kind of protect that and also to kind of keep the fungal zone at bay. Um,
And are we talking non-perishables, I assume?
yeah,
We've got time
non-perishables.
here.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
The
Great.
You've got a crew basically that goes out about once a month or so down into that area there at the fungal zone, and basically you do a burn. And so there's a hard line right in this area right in here that runs
Oh,
from one finger of the lake to the other finger of the lake, where there's
okay.
probably a good quarter of a mile stretch that you guys keep burned, so that it basically kind of keeps all that contained down there. There's been a probably, now that you guys have really stepped up and kind of been, really defending the city and maybe taking a little bit more of an active approach to kind of encroaching out into some of these areas. Now that you have Bella Vista and Crystal Cove cleared, there's been some rumbling, I think, among the members of the community about, what would it take to actually go back down into Indian Point Fungal Zone and clear it out.
Okay.
Now, you guys have been down there and you've seen what it is that you're dealing with,
It's a mess.
and it is a definite mess.
Yeah.
It would take a massive effort to clean that place out, and I mean, truthfully, it would be almost a cleansing that would have to happen.
Would the biggest purpose of doing that be that we're worried about potential spread, or what other benefit is there to doing that other than preventing potential spread? I guess.
And I think that's probably the argument that is kind of coming from the council there within the city, is that we're able to keep it at bay right now. Fortunately, there hasn't been any really high winds or anything that has really caused it to, pass over, over the finger into some of these other larger areas. It hasn't gone over into Bella Vista. It's pretty much contained right there. Is there a possibility, if there's a hurricane that comes through, I mean, we're far enough inland right now that, we're not going to get hit by hurricane, but the winds that maybe are, being produced by something like that potentially could stir that up and then start to spread that. So, yes, eventually maybe this is something that we need to address, but for right now, it seems like with the work that you guys have done to kind of separate, that little quarter of a mile stretch and kind of keep it at bay, it seems to be contained. The big thing is right now is that it is a main source of non-perishables for you guys. But the only way to go in and get those is to just brave the fungazoids that are down there and sneak in during the day when they're asleep and get what you can and bring it out. Once that is all depleted, then I think the council is like, then we might be able to send a team down there, but we hate to burn up potentially good resources just to clear it out.
Right. Okay. All right. And yeah, I mean, I think, going to get food would be one thing, but I think definitely, tackling that is going to be a whole different thing. So I mean, potentially, going down there to get some food, but also what is going up there in that Branson area in the haunted zone up there? I see all these gardening supplies, auto salvage, water tower hardware. How much of that shit do we have access to, or could we get access to potentially?
So Branson West is an area that most people that are currently in Silver Dollar City have just absolutely abandoned. There was a lot of stuff that was going on up there within that city. The possessed are running rampant up there, which basically means they're regular humans, but humans that have been taken over by the demonic forces that are somehow connected to Abaddon. So they have been unleashed upon humanity, and they have essentially been infected. So there's a lot of possessed up there. Now, your experience with the possessed is, I mean, they are essentially human, but they have a dark rider that is with them at all times. So as powerful as the protectors of Silver Dollar City are, these possessed can be just as powerful as you in some occasions. Now, not all of them are. You know, some are, you know, just regular people that happen to have, you know, a demon possessing them, but the demon isn't really providing them supernatural powers per se. But they can be trouble, without a doubt.
Okay.
Additionally, there's a lot of like paranormal activity that has been reported up in that area as well, that has amped up considerably during you know, the whole apocalyptic, you know, incoming. And they know for sure that the high school up there has something in it, something evil. There are more caverns that basically kind of flank both sides of the town. So they believe that there are more of these like cave-like creatures or something similar to that kind of hunt these areas up here.
Okay.
There is a survival school that some of the folks here in Branson have said, or here in Silver Dollar City, have said that some of the kids from the high school, when they got separated, they were told to go to the Sigma 3 survival school. That there were some men, some former police officers, some former military potentially, that were kind of holding out in that place. And when some of the kids got separated, they knew that if they couldn't make it to Silver Dollar City, that was somewhere where they could go. The big problem in getting anywhere up there within Branson West is you have to get through this area here, it's right past the water tower where you guys had gotten the water.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Anywhere past that, you've got to go through Branson West to get to, like, say, Sigma 3 or the sawmill or anything, basically. Any of the storage areas. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there in Branson in Branson West that you could use.
Okay.
But you've got to get past the Witch's Coven to be able to do it. And they police those roads.
There's a witch. It's a straight up Witch's Coven is what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
or are we playing games?
That's what the Silver Dollar City basically have called it.
Called it. Okay. Got it. Okay. Great. Okay. All right. But lots of stuff up there. Cool. Okay. Now,
a little bit further down, we've already kind of, you know, talked about Bella Vista and the Indian Point fungal zone. You got Linwoodell Winery, which is a very, very small community, quote unquote, maybe more like a family, and like the folks that used to work at the winery. There is a small group of individuals there that are friendly with SDC. And you guys have done a lot of trades and stuff, and they're really kind of an extended part of the community. They just choose to stay down there, and the reason why they stay down there is they have a full orchard. And they're a major producer of like apples, oranges, fruit, grapes, obviously, since it's a
luxuries
winery.
in this time, yeah.
That they provide Silver Dollar City in exchange, you know, for you know, supplies and stuff like that as well from the community. But they're also kind of the Charlie Linwoodell is an old military type.
That was my question. I was like, what kind of protection do they have? Because they're right outside Bella Vista. I mean, like that Vampire Haven and stuff. What kind of protection they got going on?
Yeah, and he had some suspicions that there was some stuff going on at Bella Vista. He believed that the vampires were just there. He was not aware that, they were herding cattle, human cattle there. And he feels a little bit guilty about the fact, in hindsight, he wished that he would have been keeping closer tabs on that. But his attention mostly, he is really kind of your eyes on the ground when it comes to Hell on Earth, Branson proper.
Okay.
So that whole red area there is Branson proper. So he has kind of a lookout post there at the winery where he kind of keeps tabs on the goings on and then sends in reports periodically when it's warranted up to Silver Dollar City. What's happened as of recently is he's been seeing the possessed now starting to press a little bit further to the southwest, and this whole area of Table Rock down here is really becoming an extension of Hell on Earth.
That's not good.
Which is eventually going to start encroaching up into his area and up into potentially Silver Dollar City.
Let him get into the fungal zone. That'll be fun.
Well, that's a certain that certainly is a concern, and
great
knowing what is in Hell on Earth, if it were to connect with the fungal zone, what would happen if the possessed were infected?
I'm gonna guess that it would be really cool. All right, so we got threats and we got cool stuff all around. Oh man. Okay. There's something intriguing about the Sigma school that, I think if we could get between Branson West and there and get some of that stuff and maybe pair up with them, that we could, that could be reinforcements for what we have to deal with in the South, which would be really cool. That said, I'm not going to lie, the prospect of maybe grabbing an orange or two or some bananas for Papaw's low potassium, heading on down and having a chit chat with Charlie and seeing what he's got going on, seeing if we can maybe assist with this Table Rock business in some way, maybe stem that tide. That could also be a potentially good thing too. I feel like the fungal zone, I've been there and I know that we're okay right now. We can go get the food if we need to. That is also going to require a concentrated effort, like you said, to burn down. So I think we set that aside for now and we decide if we want to start clearing a path north to try to get to this school, or potentially, if we want to initiate some kind of trade with the winery and get some goodies.
Now, I'm trying to recall. So you remember when you guys were trying to get the truck to go up to get the water from the water tower, right?
I remember that.
There was a couple of individuals that had tried to stop you from doing that.
I do remember that, yes.
And they were led by this almost like super soldier type kind of character that was called a Sleepless.
See, you say this stuff and then it jogs and I don't remember it, but then when you say it, I'm like, I remember that. Yep.
Now,
short-term memory is shit.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you guys ever really followed that lead.
No, because we'd been trying to fix the truck for so long.
Right.
We had to repair the truck and everything. By the time we got all that done and had already fought off some of them, I think we maybe searched a couple of their pockets that we killed, but beyond that, we went home. We didn't follow that, no.
So let me see here if I've got... I may have just opened my mouth too soon. Oh no, let's go there. Okay, so this Stonebridge Country Club up here. There's a couple of different golf courses on that property. And you guys, when you were kind of searching through the pockets of these guys that were kind of attacking you while you guys were trying to get the truck, you searched the pockets and found some pencils that had Ledgestone Country Club marked on them, and they had like little green markers, you know, like where you would kind of put a marker for your putter.
Oh yeah.
And like some notepads that had the Ledgestone Country Club written on it. So these guys all had accoutrement on them that basically kind of pointed to the fact that, you know, they might be based out of that Stonebridge Country Club area.
Okay.
So that's just one more thing, you know, just kind of going back into the past there.
Yep, I do remember that. And that could be, I mean, that Stonebridge Country Club area, I mean, if they had all that on them. So do we know, or would we know, is there any indication whatsoever? Is that a strategic spot for us, or is that kind of part of the patrol of the Witches' Coven area? Or is that a little bit separate from their
It is a little bit separate.
Okay, all right, so that would be a whole different thing.
Like where you've got your marker right now,
Mm-hmm.
see, there's this road that kind of passes up along the outside
I zoom
up
in.
here. So, like right in this area.
Oh yeah,
right
I see
here.
it. Yep. Uh-huh.
And it looks like there might be even an offshoot that might get you close to the Sigma 3 Survival School.
I see that.
That whole area right in there is so close to the Witches' Coven, people have really kind of shied away from that. And knowing that the roads are usually kind of barred by the Witches' Coven, they usually don't. But maybe if you had access maybe to a roundabout way, maybe through the country club, to be able to bypass part of that section where it's covered by the Witches' Coven, that might give you a little bit of a shortcut to get up to Sigma 3.
Getting up there is very intriguing, because I do think it's a whole survival school. I can only think that they will be equipped to help us with our problems to the southeast. What if we... Yeah. What if we go talk to Sarge about what we found on those guys and see what he thinks?
Okay. All right, so just as a little refresher, Gabe Rivers, everybody calls him Sarge because he was a sergeant in the sheriff's department in Branson.
Okay.
And was kind of one of the lone survivors within the police force from Branson that really kind of helped gather as many people as he could and get them into Silver Dollar City, and really was key in helping to form the community as we know it. So he has kind of just taken up the mantle of de facto leader of the community. A lot of you guys had kind of come in later, and he's been very intrigued with, you know, the abilities that you guys have brought to the table, and he kind of sees you coming and kind of welcomes you in. He stays at Grandpa's house. It's kind of a little kitschy attraction there that's kind of set up in kind of that deep South, kind of colonial style. And everybody said that, Gabe should live there. So he reluctantly has kind of taken that place over. But he invites you in, says, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Black.
Yeah, I know that's how you like it. Listen, have a seat. I'm glad you're here. I kind of wanted to talk to you anyway.
Oh?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, no, nothing too crazy. Me and some of the council have been kind of talking. You and the other folks of the protectors here of the community. Everybody's been kind of talking about, how you guys have really been taking kind of matters into your own hands, so to speak, with a little bit of guidance from those of us a little bit higher up. And nobody's really questioning that. Matter of fact, I think they're really paying pretty close attention to it, and you guys are really starting to kind of become folk heroes here among the community.
Happy to do what we can.
You all came here individually of your own accords, and we've certainly welcomed you with open arms, and you have more than done your share to keep this community safe.
And yet I sense you're about to ask me a favor.
Well, it's not necessarily a favor. It's really more of a question.
Okay.
How long are y'all planning on staying? And I know you can't speak for everybody, but you in particular. What is your plan in all of this?
Well, son, I would tell you my plan is to stay alive, but I've already died and come back, so I don't know how alive I even am. My plan, I think, would be to settle somewhere, be that here or somewhere else, that is quiet, off the grid, protected, away from all the madness. For as long as I can, I would like to be, I guess what any old man wants to be, left alone and happy and left to his own devices, right? But I recognize the community here is in need of help, and so far this has been the safest, quietest place that I have been able to come across in my journeys. And I don't remember much about my life before, but so far this life here, well, I mean, hell on earth exists outside these borders. You know that as well as I do. But this is as good as it's gotten so far, and I'd have my design set on staying if I had it any other way.
Well, I think you know me by now. I don't make it a habit of asking folks who they were, what they were, before the shit hit the fan.
I wish I could tell you myself.
No, and I ain't asking. All I know is I know who the man you are now. And whoever you were outside of these walls before the walls came tumbling down. I know you were a good man. You're one of the eldest of this community. And the way I see it, you're probably one of the eldest just around. The community respects the protectors. And yet, none of the protectors sit on the council. So I suppose I'm offering you a seat on the council.
Papaw stays quiet for a minute. He takes a long sip of the coffee, and he thinks. And he says, have you... Are you aware of what happens when I have to pass judgment on someone around me?
I've heard tale, but I haven't seen it in action.
Hope you don't. I just, you offer me this willingly, even having heard tell of that.
Well, I think we need a judge. With the addition of so many new community members from Bella Vista, y'all vetted them, passed them, and they've all become members of this community. Welcome, members of this community. Now you tell me, had you found one of those individuals had been somehow tainted, what would have happened?
Well, I suppose you know from the stories that their soul would have been sent to its maker.
You are a man through whatever reason that may be, has been chosen to make the hard decisions. Just like me, but in your own way. My job as the leader of this community is to ensure the safety of the people that reside here. Your job has been to make sure that those walls don't come tumbling down. And if one stinker gets in the midst, that skunk's gonna stink up this whole town and take everybody with it.
You know, I had fancied myself something of a, not by choice, mind you, but I guess something of a gallows man, an executioner of sorts. You said judge, and I guess in a way I do pass judgment more than I act as the executioner, and well, frankly, I like the sound of it better. I'm not going anywhere, so if that is a way that I can serve, then I accept. I will sit on the council.
That makes me happy. There are members of the council that will be very happy to hear that. Perhaps one or two that may not be, but they could shut their holes.
Well, I hope to win over their respect. I want
You already
nothing more
have their
than the safety of it.
respect, but I think they might be a little bit scared of you.
Well, I suppose they have nothing to be scared of as long as they have the good of the town in mind. I see no reason why they should fear it. But what does this entail for me? Or do I have to attend meetings now?
Well, yeah, we have weekly meetings, usually on Saturday afternoons. We try not to encroach too much on, everyone's personal time, which we all have a lot of these days.
Is there coffee at these meetings?
Always coffee,
All right, well, I'll be happy to be there then.
But yes, we'll we'll make an announcement sometime later next week. Let everyone know that we have extended you the invitation. Now, of course, the members of the council will have to hold a vote, which will be the following Saturday after that. But in good time, I'm sure, within the next week or two, we should probably have everything in place and then be able to welcome you in to one of our weekly meetings.
Well, I don't talk much. I won't say anything to anybody until then.
Well, speaking of talking, it looked like you were coming here to say something to me, so I already took up plenty of your time. Why don't you just spill and let me know what it is you wanted to talk about?
I had near plumb forgot, but I suppose, well, you remember when we went to the water tower not too far back?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, told you of some trouble, I think, that we experienced while we was up there with the truck. Managed to get it fixed and get back down, but while all that was going on, there were some folk seemed to mean us harm. I don't know if they were after the water themselves or after us or what. We managed to keep them at bay. A couple of them died in the process, and we found some things on him. Now it seemed to be from this Stonebridge Country Club, and he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a couple. He's got a couple of them that I believe Asher had been the one to kind of pick through, but he taken one of them from Asher and gives it to Gabe to look at and says this, kind of points to it and says that's up north, a little bit northwest of the water tower, I think, but I don't know what they may have come from that area. I don't know if you know anything about what might go on up there, but I found it strange. At least thought it was something we should look at.
Well, I think it's funny you mention that because we've been monitoring all the different CB channels as we do. And, we've been getting, radio communications, or really more of like a radio show from that Shepherd of the Hills cult. Not too far from here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've heard some chatter between the Shepherd of the Hills and some folks that are calling themselves the Sleeper Agents.
The Sleeper Agents.
Yeah. And it's our belief that we think that is coming from up somewhere around the Stonebridge Country Club. Now, you had mentioned something about some fella that was with that group of individuals that ambushed you there at the outpost.
Yes, the one that got away.
At the gardening center.
Mm-hmm.
This fella that runs Shepherd of the Hills, we've got a few folks here within the community that have been tuning in to his broadcasts. And to know that there may be another community out there that he's courting gives me some pause. Now, if you think there's some sort of connection between those folks that you ran up against at the garden center and Stonebridge, or whatever the golf course is over there within Stonebridge, it might not be a bad idea just to kind of scout it out and see what kind of community they have. The one fella sounded like he was ex-military from the description that you had given me. And if there's a bunch of military boys up there, if they start hooking up with the Shepherd of the Hills, then maybe we got some problems.
Sarge, did I understand you to say that some folks here in town have been tuning into those channels?
Well, we can't keep them from it.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that's what I was wondering. Was that something that they were listening to, out of curiosity, or because they had been, because we're listening? So they're just curious then.
I think mostly it's just out of curiosity and see what in the hell they're up to. But I have to say, a few of the folks, were former good Christian folks that attended church every Sunday. And we don't really have a preacher here on staff, so to speak. And they're getting some of the good word from this fella, but he's preaching a whole lot of other stuff that might be at odds with the community at large. If you catch my drift.
Do indeed. Well, this sounds like an undertaking that I don't know. I think, given their aggressiveness when we were at the water tower, it could be worth looking into. I think it should be something. I think that we at least send maybe a few people to scope out at a bare minimum. Now, any of that will need to be done in an armed manner because I will say those boys that we ran into, they didn't go down easy. So we'd have to be careful. But I do think that any sort of partnership between the country club and the Stonebridge and the Shepherds, that could only spell trouble for us. So we should at least know what's going on.
All right. Well, I don't want to deplete our resources too much. Let's just treat this maybe as a bit of a scouting mission.
Okay.
And I think it might behoove us to maybe take a few of our fellows out with you. They could
Who do
use
you have in mind?
they could use a little bit of guidance. They're folks that know the land out there that you've dealt with quite a bit as it is already. Jake and Henry. Jake O'Connor, Henry Martinez. Henry, you know, is a good driver. He was the one that helped get your fat out of the fire over that whole water debacle in the first place.
Yes, I
then
do remember Jake.
Jake
Or
and
Henry.
his girlfriend Becca are two scouts that are regular runners down to the Fundle Zone.
Hmm.
Now Jake is an expert marksman. And I know he's got a scope on that rifle of his that can see from more than a mile off. So maybe if you want to take your truck, let old Henry drive, and you and Jake give the golf course a little bit of a scout, see what we're up against down there. It might not be a bad idea.
Well, I'm not keen on letting other folks drive my truck typically, but Henry has proven himself, and well, I'd say if I'd trust anybody else driving it, it'd be him. So, Jake, I'll be happy to meet. We'll see what we can turn up for you.
All right, well, be careful out there, and
Uh,
just get a lay of the land. Try not to get into too much of a scuffle.
Absolutely. I have no intention of any sort of fighting today, only to see what's out there. Do you happen to know where I might locate Henry and Jake?
Let's see here.
I know where they are. I'm gonna hop in the truck and go get them.
Henry is probably going to be out by the old carousel.
Okay.
That's where he keeps his kind of tool shed and whatnot.
Right.
And then Jake, you probably should find pretty close to the main gate. He's on duty today, just as Outlook.
All right. Yep. So that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and grab the truck and we'll go grab Henry first and trade places and then swing up by the gate and let Jake know what's going on. I'll kind of explain to Henry what's going on here after I've talked to Sarge and what we're going to be doing and we'll pick up Jake and kind of do the same thing.
Okay.
No sense wasting time.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, take you that second if you don't mind. All this talk of coffee has actually got me wanting coffee. I think I'm gonna brew up a cup real fast. It's
All
right
right.
over in the kitchen too. I can still hear what's going on also. So holler
Okay.
at me if you need to.
All right.
I'll have a nice hot cup in just a moment. Yeah, the more we mentioned coffee, I was like, that actually sounds good. I'd like some coffee. I've turned it. It's like an actual old man trait that I feel like I've adopted, and I kind of love it. Like I've turned into like a coffee after dinner type.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
give me a black coffee after, like right after dinner. Yeah, hell yeah. Why don't you grab me a newspaper from the 1930s while you're at it? A pipe.
So I don't know if you knew this, but Kelly and I, long time ago, after we first got married, probably about 2 to 3 years after, we
Mhm.
became part owners of the Coffee Pot, which was
Ah.
catty corner from U of E.
Oh, okay.
And it's where the coffee shop, what is it? Eclipse? No, that's not right. Honeymoon.
That might be right. That feels right.
Honeymoon.
Oh, honeymoon. It's got a little. Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking of the little moon thing on it. And I was like, eclipse. No, honeymoon. Yeah.
And so when we were part of that,
Mm-hmm.
Kelly would bring home like full bean coffee, and we had our own grinder, and we had like this really
Ooh.
expensive like drip machine and so forth. And I was drinking like 32-ounce
Oh my
coffees
God.
in the morning and at night, and I mean
Oh.
I got completely addicted.
Oh my God.
To the point where I had to end up dropping coffee like altogether after a couple of years. But now I'm on iced coffee kick,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I can only do that in the mornings, and then by noon I gotta cut it off.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. That's wild though. I would never guess that. That's they fancy coffee ever makes me think of that always sunny bit with Dennis when they go out of town. They're trying to leave Philly and he wants to get the fancy espresso machine for the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And he just wants the fancy coffee beans. That's Oh yeah, no, I've gotten into my coffee, but like I like my black coffee at dinner, but like I'll mix it up in the morning and put all kinds of weird shit in it depending on what I'm feeling that day.
Yeah.
But now dinner time though, nighttime like this, black coffee, just like Mama and Papaw used to do. It's who I named Papaw after. It was my actual Papaw, so I'm gonna go grab my cup.
Okay. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I'm just grabbing my cup.
Oh, okay. I looked away for a second, and then you're just gone.
Yep.
Like, holy shit! He just teleported. Where'd he go?
Had to teleport to the coffee.
Okay, so, you guys hop in the truck, start heading up towards the Ledgestone Country Club. That was the golf course that had the most representation on the pencils, the markers, the notepads, all of that sort of stuff that you found on those guys.
Okay.
So it makes most sense that they probably at least raided that place most recently.
Okay.
What time of day are you going up there?
I would think that assuming I've had this conversation in the early afternoon with him, I mean, it's going to take a little bit to drive up there, right? Would it take us to get to the water tower?
Yeah, I think it. But you guys were going slow.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I forgot we were intentionally going slow.
Generally, when you guys are out, you gotta keep it under like about 15 miles an hour.
Yes.
Because anything up above that attracts too much attention.
Yes. So assuming that is still the case, then yeah, it's going to take us a while to get there. I'd like to be doing this in kind of a sunset time where it's light enough that we can kind of see what's going on a little bit if we need to, but we got a little bit of cover of shade and all that. And if it gets dark, we can at least, get a little bit of darkness covering us at least. But so if we're heading up quietly and can get up there, because I assume if we had coffee at his place, 10, 11 a.m. So, we can get up there 4 or 5 and be back in the truck and heading home after, at sundown preferably. But, who knows what's going to happen, but that would be ideal.
Okay, so I'm going to activate this little map.
All right.
And basically, you probably want to scroll out on this because it's pretty hefty
Yeah.
now.
Okay. Here, let's get the coffee.
I just want to
All
kind
right.
of describe it to you, and then you can kind of decide where you kind of want to be. More than
Okay.
likely, Jake is probably going to park down the road a piece, and then you guys would kind of have to hike it up to this area.
Okay.
The golf course itself kind of sits atop like this plateau, and it's got kind of rolling hills and so forth off behind it. What you're looking at here essentially is the clubhouse. There's some tennis courts. There's like a little kids area with like a mini putting zone over here. There's like a small like kids pool right here.
For the
Uh,
sake of comparison, are we
mhm.
talking kind of like an Evansville Country Club situation, like on the north side, like where it's that big hilly golf course behind it, but they got the big club up on the hill type
Yes.
of deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of essentially what you're talking about there. Now, I would say it's probably
Okay.
about this clubhouse is probably at least 3 times the size.
Sweet. All right. That's great. And okay. All right. I see what's going on here. What's all this? I mean, is this all this up in here is all club? Or is it like what's going on like back here?
Okay, sorry. Show me again.
Oh, sorry, like back in this area.
Like up in here.
Is it tagging? Hold on. It's not doing that thing where it pings it.
Hold down the
There you
right.
go.
Yeah, right up in here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this big area right in here, if you can see kind of where I'm running my cursor around, right in here.
Hold on. I might be zoomed too far out where I can't actually see your cursor.
The big long building here.
Ah, yes. Okay, there we go. Yep.
That's your main clubhouse right here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This area here is kind of like the conference room area.
Okay.
This area right here would be like a little statue. This area here is kind of like a garage where they would kind of pull in all of the golf carts and everything to kind of work on the golf carts.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay. We got here. Ooh, tennis courts. Okay.
And then right in here, I don't think I showed you
Christ.
this right here. That's
Oh,
your kind of like Olympic-sized pool right here.
oh, that's the pool. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. You know what? Honestly, well, no, because I think either way we come around here, we got about the same level of tree coverage.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm seeing, I think. So I think we are good kind of where you have us. I mean, we could come around the back, back up by the garage and stuff, but I mean, essentially it's going to be the same thing, just down the other side.
Now, I will say, like
Um,
this shadowed area here that kind of overlooks the little miniature putting area right up in
uh-huh.
here is a little elevated. And it's got a lot of tree cover up in here.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So if you're looking for some place to hide out and still have a pretty good view of the whole compound, that's probably a good spot right there.
Great. All right. So that I think would be the plan and would be to head up there, have him park us down the road, like you said, a piece and walk up about to where we are, but then head up to the right instead of, kind of off to the left to get a look at the club and everything. We're going to head up the hill
Mm-hmm.
and do that and to get a lay of the land type of situation. Um, and I guess, I mean, based on what we know of the sleepless guy, kind of what he had told us he's heard on the radio. I kind of tell the guys, I'm like, look, keep your eyes peeled. We need to be looking for any kind of military enforcer type looking folk, big guns, big trucks. If they got anything, if they've got anything set up like that, what's going on? In addition, I think we got to be keeping an eye out too for any potential surveillance around this area that might be surveilling us back. So we're kind of looking for those type of things, and then as far as what we want to bring back to Sarge, I mean to kind of get a gang. If we need to get a group together, I think ideally, uh, yeah, I mean ideally we want to find any kind of point of entry or weak area that could potentially be, I mean, if we got a big old group up there together and kind of cleared this area out, where would be the easiest place to do that from? Is kind of so we got a threefold mission. We're kind of getting the lay of the land as far as who's guarding it, what kind of personnel are we looking at, what kind of equipment, and then we're looking for any potential surveillance, and then the easiest point of entry if we were to come back with a group.
Okay. So I am going to see if you would roll a perception check.
Yes. Let me zoom back into Papaw here. There he is. Hey, buddy.
All right, so 18. All right,
Papaw
so
got a high perception.
you're getting a good lay of the land.
Uh-huh.
You definitely, from your vantage point at the overlook there up above the miniature golf course,
Mm-hmm.
can see pretty much the entire alleyway that kind of runs in between the clubhouse and the convention center. And there's a lot of like rooftop balcony areas on the main clubhouse. So if you can kind of see like right in this area, right in here, do you see kind of where I'm at?
Yep.
So there's a big balcony area right there that kind of extends all the way around over to this side, right over in here. And you see two guards that kind of pace that area quite a bit. There is a guard posted at the lookout tower right next to the Olympic pool here. They basically have kind of fashioned like a little tower out of like the guard shack that was there, and then they've kind of like built on top of that.
And you're talking about kind of right here?
Right in here. You see where I'm at here?
Oh, yeah, I see you. Yep,
Yeah.
there you are. Okay. Yep,
Okay.
got it.
And I'm gonna
Cool.
actually grab something and move it over here so you can actually kind of see a physical presence so that you know really what is there.
Thank you.
This is such a damn big map. It takes forever to move
It is a
something.
big one. It's wild because it's like, I mean, it covers about the same. I mean, we've been in houses before, but most of our maps, I feel like, cover about the same area. But for whatever reason, this one is like you zoom out and I mean, there's a lot going on it.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
So you got one guard over here, and like the main entrance to the clubhouse is on this side for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
You have a few guys that just kind of intermingle and kind of scout kind of the parameter, but they really pretty much kind of stick to all the concrete pathways. This whole area here around the miniature golf course, you guys can hang out here for an hour and nobody ever goes into this area at all.
Fantastic. Okay, that's good. Okay.
The guys that you're seeing kind of walking around really don't look very military, but they look militia, if that makes...
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Want to be military.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And as you guys are kind of scouting out the area, your perception kind of notifies you there's not one but two trucks coming. and they're
Oh,
coming
cool.
up. They're coming up this way and coming around the curve, kind of close to where you guys are at. So I'm going to have you make a stealth check for me.
Oh, good. Yeah, Papaw's great with those. Uh, damn it. We were almost on a 15 there. It was just about.
Well, maybe these guys are going to be good enough for you.
Papaw's creaky knees.
All right, let's see what their passive perception is here. This is a group roll, so they might just save you.
They might save me. I'm open.
Okay. These two trucks pass by. Both of them are white trucks,
Right.
and they look like they've got like kind of a stenciled, like gold spray painted cross on the sides, on the doors.
Got it. Okay. Oh,
And
that's
it's kind of like the old like Irish style cross, so it doesn't have like the long thing, but it's just two bars,
right.
perfectly spaced, with a circle around it. And they continue along the path, drive up close to the front entrance down here. Before they get too far, you see the guard that is on the tower over here stand up, produces a shotgun, holds it in the direction of the two trucks. They both stop there, park, they get out, hands up, and you hear a little bit of chatter between the two. It's from the distance that you're at. It's a little hard to make out. You don't have any kind of bonuses when it comes to like hearing or anything like that, right?
Let me check something here real quick. 'Cause, I mean, his perception is pretty high in
Yeah.
general.
Mhm.
But no, as far as bonuses, I don't think. But let me check something in my features here real quick. Just double refamiliarizing myself here. Renaissance thinking, dangerous minds, not helpful. No, not without. I mean, telepathy would be the best thing, but that has to be consensual. So, I mean, or else they might know. But yeah, that would be the, no bonuses to hearing though of any kind.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception then.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, 27. I think you hear
That'll
that.
do. That'll do.
So you hear one of the guys that gets out of the car. Now you can see them fairly well. All four of these individuals are dressed similarly in like khaki pants, white shirts, fairly clean cut, but they've got like guns and stuff kind of strapped to their back, to their hip.
Clarification point here: we've
Mhm.
got two in each vehicle that have stepped out, is what we've got. Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay,
Four
just
in
checking.
total. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And one of them shouts to the guy, "We're here from the Shepherd of the Hills. Reverend Josiah Thorne sends his regards. We're here to speak with someone that had reached out to us and was inquiring about some assistance, and we are happy to oblige."
Josiah
Um,
Thorne.
the guy at the tower gets on a walkie-talkie and radios in. Unfortunately, you're not able to hear what it is that he says. They wait out there for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then eventually they're waved on, and they leave the trucks behind, and then make their way up towards the front entrance of the clubhouse there.
They're just walking on in, leaving the trucks, huh?
Yep, leaving the trucks behind.
Interesting. So these are not delivery trucks of any kind. Okay.
Now, from your vantage point, once they reach Just a little bit past the pool, like about where this tree is right here. You
Oh,
see
hold
where
on a
I'm
second.
pinging
I was
here?
looking at my.
Mm-hmm.
Let me zoom back out. Okay, we're ping it again.
Yep, right in here. It is very hard to see, isn't it? Okay, let me try something else. um,
I'm gonna say pick a random guy and move
there we
him. I'll
go.
take my
So
work costume.
like that.
Okay.
You see
Hold
that?
on. Wait. Give me a point. Give me a word reference. Where are we by the pool?
Just past the pool. Do you see the measurement thing that I
Oh,
put
there it
out
is.
here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I got it. Yep. Now I
Yeah.
pegged it.
So
There it is.
once they get past that tree, it's going to be hard
Uh-huh.
to see what's going on. So if
Got
you
it.
want to kind of keep an eye on them, you guys are going to have to move to a different position to be able to see what's going on.
Okay. And give me just a moment to think here because I do want to do that, but I also got to figure out how the hell we're going to do that and also deal with this guard. So let me think here just a moment. All right. Okay. All right. Yes. I think I know what we're going to do. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and kind of head down that hill a little bit, trying to stay, you know, behind the trees as much as we can, kind of out of sight of that particular guard. But what I'd like to try to do, see how 60 feet. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Members of your team. Oh, that's 2,000 feet. Okay. All right. Okay. I got to get within 60 feet of that dude without him seeing us. So that's going to be a little stealthy. But I think what I'd like to do is get close enough that I can telepathically communicate with that guard because he's not going to know where the hell that's coming from. It's just going to freak him out. And I'm going to tell him to, I don't know, spook him. Get the hell out. Whatever. Anything I can tell him telepathically to get him to leave where he is and go the fuck away so I can get closer. That's what we're going to do.
Okay, all right. And how close
That'll be the plan.
you have to get within 60 feet of him
Yeah,
to
that's
do
the
that?
only tough part. Yeah, it can
Okay.
be 2,000 if I'm bonded with somebody and they're cool with it. I can be up to 2,000 feet. But if it's somebody like this that doesn't know I'm doing it, I gotta be pretty close.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and make a stealth roll. And then these two guys are going to kind of go with you and kind of add, cover. They're going to.
Okay.
One of them's going to go to this tree here. The other one is going to try to make it over to this one right here.
Back over to my stealth. I was looking to see if I had something else that could help me with this stealth in any way, shape, or form. I do not.
Ooh, no. Well.
Oh, did one of them just?
One of them just botched.
Oh God. Did I end up hitting roll? I did. Okay. Oh Lord. Oh, Jake 19th though. That's pretty good.
That's good. And you got a 13. Okay.
That 5, that was rough.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen there? Who did that, Henry?
That was Henry, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Of course it was. He's paying me back for that one I botched with him.
He is just outright dead in the open. And
God damn it, Henry.
You hear the guard at the tower say, I got movement out here. I got movement.
Fuck. Okay. Did I? All right, passing my stealth check, where would that allow me to get to if I moved my token about like you moved them there? How far am I able to?
I would say, let me get my measurement tool out
At least before he spotted fucking Henry.
So, I mean, it's probably you would probably be able to get to about right here.
Fantastic. Okay. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and do that then. Come with me.
Now, fortunately, he's just got a shotgun, so he's not really going to be able to do too much
Okay.
with that.
We're a little bit outside that 60 foot, but I can get closer. It's fine. We can get closer. So I heard that if I can get down, and oh wait, let me move back over to there we go. If I am able to move down to like here without him noticing me, that should be close enough that I can do the telepathy. But I don't know if you'll have me do another stealth roll for that or how we want to move with the turns here since he's got movement out in the corner, but he hasn't spotted me in the other one.
Yeah, that would get you there. So, yeah, I would say probably you got to do another stealth roll to get there.
Okay. Is there any chance he's distracted by the movement out in
Yeah, I would say you probably have advantage on that because he's got his eyes now on Jake, who is diving for cover, I think, at this
Jake
point.
or Henry?
Sorry, Henry. Yeah.
Henry, okay. All right. I was going to say, was Henry up there, right? Not, okay. Oh, thank fucking Christ. Okay, good.
All right, Henry is able to dive into some cover there and get out of sight, but our guy over here certainly knows that something is going on.
Is up, and he's hollered in his walkie-talkie already, which is really, really. I'm really happy for him that he has one of those. Okay, so what? He's already knows something's going on, but he doesn't know where I am, and he doesn't know that somebody's about to be in his head.
Now, I will say that you now have become aware of a secondary guard that has kind of come up to the balcony level over here.
Okay. Yep.
And he's whipped out a walkie-talkie, and you can hear him say, "Where is he?" And then the other guy says, "Somewhere over in those bushes just beyond the tennis court."
Great. Okay, give me just a moment. I need to. Okay. I got it. Okay. So we're going to use the telepathy, what is the roll I have to make since he's unwilling? If they are unwilling, makes a wisdom perception check contested by the target's insight check. Wisdom. So, okay. So yeah, it's perception versus insight.
Okay.
Is what it is. But let's see if I can get it successfully first, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to say. Because it's not going to be as cool if I fail this roll. So, perception.
17. And then they have to roll a
insight,
right?
Yeah. Begin.
16.
Yes. Just barely. Oh, thank God. Okay. So he's gonna hear a whisper in his head that just says, "The men with the shepherds are not who they say they are."
Okay, cool.
That's it. That's just it. He's just gonna hear that whisper in his fucking head. And if he has to hear it 2 or 3 times, that's fine. It can just be the same sentence. But the men with the shepherds are not who they say they are. Those 4 guys you just let past the gate.
and this guy that you just did that to radios back. He was like, "It's got to be those shepherds. They must have somebody out there in the bushes."
Okay, perfect.
And now, from your vantage point, you hear some shouting coming from the front of the country club. And what you see there is you see 3 more guys dressed completely like different from each other, but they're all in that kind of militia kind of garb. One dude's even got like a full ski mask. The leader of that trio that's out front there is kind of a everyday like Aryan race, blonde blonde, blue-eyed look.
Yeah.
With a couple of earrings, just for a little bit of flair, and then another
Sure.
dude that's got like a green mohawk, just a hodgepodge of different looks, facing off against these three, and they're all basically at this point now in a Mexican standoff. And these guys are
Awesome.
accusing the other guys of having somebody out there sneaking up on them. The other guys are like, we're here alone. We didn't bring anybody else with us. Just hold your fire. We're here to help. Yada, yada, yada. So that's all going on while you are in the process of doing whatever you're doing.
Okay. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to telepathically communicate with a willing Jake and tell him basically just with telepathy, like, watch my back. In other words, like, keep an eye out for this fucking guy because I just have a feeling this dude's going to start trying to move out toward us soon. And I would like Jake to be aware of him. In the meantime, let's see. What can we can tell him something else. What can we tell him? Got it. New telepathic message. So we're gonna have to roll that again.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, here we go. Wisdom versus insight. Come on, we can do this. We got this. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Perception versus insight. That's what it is.
23. 18.
Cool. Okay. So now he's gonna hear in the bushes lies danger. Take one of the trucks. And I'm trying to convince him to take one of those trucks that they left behind to go up there by himself and see what's in the bushes.
Okay.
In the bushes lies danger. Take one of the trucks. Go.
All right. So he hops down, radios to the other guy. I'm going to grab one of the trucks.
Yes.
And see if I can box him in.
Do it.
So he goes over to the truck, starts up the truck.
Okay.
And so the other guy now, and Jake would have been moving during this as well. I'm going to roll a stealth roll for him. Oof, not great.
Good Lord.
8.
What are you doing to me?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have had these guys come. You should have just come by yourself. He comes into this area here, kind of is crawling through the bushes.
Comes through a little hot.
Draws the attention of this guy who whips around with a pistol and is kind of pointing in that direction. I know you're in there. Come on out.
All right. And then what we'll do is, in order to help him and let Henry deal with the guy in the car, let's give him a glimpse of his own death. Why not?
Okay.
I'm going to give him a glimpse of his own death. Let me see. Make a wisdom insight check with a DC 10 plus the number of enemies within a 30-foot radius. He's the only one within a 30-foot radius of me, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so 11 or better. And then he's got to roll a... Okay, yeah, all right, I get it. I got to roll 11 or better to make it, and once I make it, he gets a chance at a wisdom, which is against my insight plus proficiency bonus. Okay, all right. That one always takes me a minute to sort out. Is that attack action button clickable?
Glimpse of death, right? Okay.
Yes. Is that attack? No, it's not.
Wisdom
Okay.
insight check with a DC of 10. plus the number of enemies within a 30
So,
so 11. So
yeah.
enemies may resist this roll with successful wisdom saving throw of a DC of your wisdom plus your proficiency bonus. Okay, so what
I got
is
13.
that?
So my wisdom, my proficiency's 3. My wisdom is, oh God, where did he go? There he is.
So
Wisdom
he's got to get a 19.
16. Yeah, he's gonna. Or is the 16 with the plus 3 added in?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, then yeah, he's got to get a 19.
Okay.
Because I hit my 13, so, or hit my 11. Ooh, he got close.
16. He's got a -1 on wisdom.
Oh,
so.
thank God. I was like, he almost got me, son of a bitch. So that is going to give him then a glimpse of his own demise, which will basically paralyze him in fear for until the end of my next turn. So he's stunned. Is what it'll do to him. And I mean, at that point, we can communicate to Jake like, hey, get in there and take him out real quick, or like we can just leave him stunned and just leave his ass there, figure out what the hell's going on. But I think Papaw would tell Jake like, hey, get him.
All right, so he moves in, and he is going to. Let's see if he's got anything special. All right, he is basically going to just kind of wrestle him down and try to pull him back into the bushes and kind of knock him out.
Perfect. Yeah. Whatever incapacitates his ass. That 2 13s.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was cool.
That was cool.
You just don't see two numbers come up at the same time on 2d20 rolls like that often.
15 versus 12. All right, so he puts sleeper hold on him and pulls him down and backs him into the bushes very close to where you are right here. So
Perfect.
You guys are all kind of together there.
And is that just him dragging him there, or did he incapacitate him with that?
He's incapacitated him with that,
okay.
So he's currently
Perfect.
unconscious.
Perfection. So we've got two options. We can send, and you know what? This is all right. This is Papaw saying this to Jake. All right, we've got two options. You can go up there and help Henry deal with that guy who's headed his way, and I will go get this other truck. Or you can come with me to get this other truck, and we can let Henry. It's one-on-one. I think he can hide, he can fight. I think he'll be okay. What do you think?
What are we getting the truck for?
I'm glad you asked. We are gonna ram that shit right into all of that. I mean, we are just gonna plow into this Mexican standoff with this fucking truck and take care of everybody we can in one fell swoop.
All right, if you're game, I'm game.
Let's go. I decided I wanted to do something a little crazy when they left those trucks behind.
All right.
It's coming to fruition. So
let me see. I think I had a token for a truck. Yes, I do. There we go.
Oh, good.
All right, so let me go ahead and pull the other truck out here too so that we can see what's going on all over the place. So there we go. So this guy ran over to the first truck. He got in that truck and kind of peeled out, turned it around, and is... Come on now. Why can I not... Oh, there we go. Right,
He's got a face. There he goes.
And is now driving it up in Henry's direction. Henry sees you two guys, I guess, running for the other truck, right?
Oh yeah, if Jake's coming with me, yeah, he'll probably see that happen.
Okay.
So he knows he's
Um,
either got to stay hidden or he's got to fight this dude.
All right,
One of the
so
two.
I'm going to let you guys go on ahead and run on over to the truck
Hell yeah.
as the other one is pulling away, so he doesn't see you guys getting in there.
That's it. Let's go. We gonna get wild.
Henry kind of watches you guys do that, and he's like, "Okay, I guess we're doing this." And he steps out into the middle of the road with this giant hand cannon.
Nice.
As the truck is pulling in that direction. And then I guess you guys are going to be heading towards the Mexican standoff up here, correct?
You got it.
And just flooring it.
Oh, I just noticed. I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" That's Sookie. Suki's
Oh
randomly.
yeah,
in
Suki's
the-
just hanging out.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
She
It's
decided
all
to come
Sookie.
along, just watching.
Shits and giggles, you know.
Somebody's got to keep an eye on you.
Yeah. So yeah, we are peeling right through this thing, and yeah, as many. I mean, if we can bowl through like this flock guy and the enforcer dude and this guy like all in a straight line or whatever, and then jump out before we crash into the building. I don't know, or if we jump out right before we hit the first guy and see where the truck goes.
All right, so I would make. Oh God, why? See, you say that you don't want the other guy to drive, but you got a vehicles of -1.
Oh yeah, I mean, so yeah, when I drove in the truck, I definitely told Jake to drive, right? I ain't kidding. No, I definitely said. I mean, he didn't even know why we were getting in the truck. I'm driving. This is so not good, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. We're gonna have some fun.
So you're gonna make a vehicles roll.
Yep, here it comes. This is what is happening now.
Oh, look at it dangled on that 20. It dangled on that 20.
I'll take the 13 though with a -1. I'll take it. I don't know if it's good enough, but I'll take it.
All right, so you are driving in this general direction then, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're trying to hit as many of them as possible.
Yeah.
So I think if you aimed for this dude, you could potentially hit 2 more like that.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, because I don't want them to have to like jump out of the car and hurt themselves or dive into the building.
Uh-huh.
If there's a way to like, after like as we hit that first guy, if we like slam on the brakes and peel the tail, you know, like broadside the other two, like that.
All right.
And that'll stop it without it hitting the building.
If you are able to pull that off with a 13, it's going to be iffy. Your handling on this, let me see here. I don't think it gives me that. Yeah, this was before they added all the vehicle stuff in there. Okay, that's all right. So with that roll, it's going to be tough, but you should be able to get this one guy and the other 3. But they're all going to make dexterity saving throws to try to get out of the way.
Fantastic.
So they got to get better than a 13.
If they tie,
if they tie,
wins if
they're hit.
Yes. Okay. Cool. 13 or less. 13 or less. 13. Let's go. Damn it.
Oh, there's a 15. Ooh,
Come on. There we go.
Rock.
There's one that I killed on just instant death. That's got to be dead. Last one. Oh wait, he's got bonuses,
15.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, I had him.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's all right.
All right, so this dude here, like everybody else, just dives. They see you coming from a mile off. They hear you peel out.
Right.
And they all just leap in different directions, leap out of the way. This guy dives into those guys. This guy dives into the bushes. But this guy here is like, where'd everybody go? Oh!
I get smashed.
It just
Fantastic.
gets plastered. He's out of there.
Fantastic.
So at this point, then the truck is kind of up on the porch area, like that, and
Yeah.
then you guys are in it
Mm-hmm.
at that point. So the guys that are in the kind of khakis and white shirts,
Right.
they're kind of gathering themselves. They've got their guns drawn, but they're kind of pointing still at the sleepers. But the sleepers now are all scattered. One of them's dead for sure, so they're really not sure quite what's going on. So I'm going to say initiative right now is going to go to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull up an initiative tracker here for us.
Fucking fantastic.
Now, obviously, the truck doesn't need to go, but I couldn't not get it, so I'm going to back that out of there. All right, and then I'm going to roll for all my guys here. And then Papaw can roll.
1 second. All right, where's Papaw? There he is. Now, hold on, I've got something for that. I think. I may be thinking of Madalena, but I'm pretty sure it's Papaw. Oh no, I clicked on the pickup truck. No, I can't click Papaw. Oh no, he's like
There we go.
stuck in there. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thanks. Do I have... No, that's Madalena that can reroll her initiative. Okay, all right. Getting characters mixed up. Okay, so... okay. Before I get into this here, was that the same turn as Henry stepping out with his gun, or do they need to deal with their stuff again? Henry and the other guy.
We're gonna go with the initiative order at this point.
Okay, that's what that's what I wondered. I just didn't know. Okay, all right. I didn't know if they. All right, so that was all the same turn. Cool. In that case, it's on us because they're all scattered, right?
Well, they're all scattered at this point. They're kind of getting their wits about them. So at this point, I would say Jake could go, but he's going to hold and follow your lead.
Yes, yeah. With me still in the truck, that's probably a good idea. So, oh, okay. Hate to do this. Can you move the truck just an inch one more time?
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna move Papaw down here real quick so I can get this. There we go. Okay, now I can go back. All right. Want to see? That's an attack action. All right, that's a bonus action. Okay.
There, now you should be okay. Yeah, I was able to move the token to the back. So
nice.
You should be able to click on him. Okay.
All right, I have two ideas here. I kind of want to talk this out, see if I can talk myself into something, but of course I'll welcome a chime in. We can glimpse of death it again and have, anybody within 30 feet of that truck experience a vision of their own demise.
Yep.
That's an attack. The bonus action, though, what I'm thinking, could try to call forth the divine light where they can't come any closer. But that's a bonus action, so I can still move. So we can then peel out in the truck. You know what I mean? So they can't really chase us because of the divine light, hopefully. Or they can chase us, but then once they get close enough, they can't, Or I can try to stun a bunch of them with the glimpse of death. But I don't know, can I glimpse of death and then still peel out? Because that's an attack. Can we move and attack? I don't think, and if not, I think it may be better to try the bonus action and try to get away. So I'm kind of, glimpse of death may be able to stun a bunch of them, but also the last time I tried to do something to a bunch of them, it didn't go that well.
I think you could probably do the glimpse of death, and then if you wanted to still drive, you still could.
Still peel out.
You just wouldn't really be able to kind of aim to try to.
No, I wouldn't want to. Whichever one we did, I mean, if I maybe hit one of them, that'd be cool. But I think, ideally at this point, we've caused a scene and now would like to just get away. So yeah, if we can do glimpse of death and peel out, that's great. Let's see, 10. Okay, how many of them are actually within 30 feet here? Is that whole circle?
That's
Is
that
that
whole
what you got?
circle. Yep.
So, oh God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd have to get 16 or better on the insight. And I got a lot of bonuses. I get 9 on the bonus, or yeah, 9 on the bonuses. So 16. I gotta get a what, 7? 7 or better? I can do that. I can do that. We're gonna do this. Glimpse of death it is. Yes!
Aha, 23.
Yes, 7 or better. We can do that.
And then these guys have to make a wisdom saving throw, correct?
Yes, with a DC of 19 is what
19.
we figured out last
Okay.
time. Yep. And then they're stunned until the end of my next turn, which will give us plenty of time to get the fuck out of Dodge.
All right. So we've got 1 stunned.
Great.
Another stunned.
Uh-huh.
Not stunned.
Cool. Was that the Enforcer?
Yep.
Damn it. Okay, that's cool, though.
Stunned.
You roll these 2. I'm going to make one more cup of coffee real quick.
All right. All right. Okay, so that's done.
Did we get those last 2?
Yeah, you got the last 2.
Yes. Okay.
Stunned until the end of your next turn. Okay, so.
Bingo.
All right. All right, so everybody's stunned except for the Enforcer.
Yep. With that said, I mean, I think we do still, if I have the ability to move, we want to peel out and get as far away as we can. Now, if that one guy who's stunned just happens to be in our way, great. But, I mean, whatever we can do to get out of there and, get out of Dodge without, as many of them following us as possible.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So I would make a vehicles roll.
Okay. No puzzles, no puzzles, no puzzles, no puzzles.
Oof.
God, every time it keeps hanging on.
So because you're on that porch, you've got one wheel that's off the porch, and you're getting hung up. So you're going to have to make a decision. The end of your next turn, which is coming up now, you're still in that spot. So what do you want to do? And Jake has not taken any chances.
Right. I don't blame him. Okay, here's what we're going to do, because it's a bonus action.
Uh-huh.
We're going to try the vehicles again, see if we can get the fuck out of here. And then if I have to use the Divine Light and we got to get out, and I'll tell Jake, hey, man, get out, take care of this guy. Like, whatever we got to do, we'll just start popping people because how else are we going to get away? I mean, I guess we could get out and book it, but then they're all going to be after us. And then we'll be on our feet. So, yeah, we're going to try the car again. We're just going to try that again and pray. I just got this internal feeling like I wanted to do a scum save and save real quick, see how this turns out, and restart. I just got this. I was like, let me save real quick. I almost said, let me save it real quick.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? We actually have that with the Marvel Galaxies game with Christie's character now. She has the ability to basically reset time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So they can get a do-over potentially.
I guess that's a limited ability.
It is.
I ain't gonna do it either.
Okay, yeah, you guys are stuck. So
all right,
he's gonna take his action that he held on to last round and just start lighting these dudes up.
Yep. And I don't care if they're stunned or not. He can light them up. Because I'm going to get out and use the bonus action to try to keep them away from us. So
He pops out of the top. Now you had heard that he had a sniper rifle. You've seen the sniper rifle on him.
mhm.
What you didn't realize is underneath that flak jacket of his, he's got a little small SMG.
Oh, thank God.
And he just begins to basically spray that front area there.
Hell yes. That's good.
So we're going to lay down some suppressive fire.
So he's keeping them at bay. That's nice.
And we're going to go right through these guys right there.
Nice.
And I kind of forget what that does. It's been so long since I've done any kind of suppressive fire. I got to look that up real quick.
Yeah, take a second. I'll grab my coffee.
All right.
Dreamslayer Studios presents a wide selection of live tabletop role-playing game campaigns, specializing in fresh new independent games like Tales from the Loop and the Great American Novel, as well as traditional games such as the original Marvel Superheroes RPG by TSR and Savage Worlds. Our game master works hand in hand with the players to create one-of-a-kind original stories that are jam-packed with intense battles and in-depth character development that rely on creative and collaborative communal storytelling. So, if you're in the mood for something a little different than the typical Dungeons & Dragons fan, look no further than Dreamslayer Studios' RPG podcast. Available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere you consume your live play RPGs.
So, what had just happened was we had a little bit of burst fire, or suppressive fire, excuse me, that was going on from Jake O'Connor. It ended up hitting the entire group because most of them are stunned. So these guys are all dropped down to 4 health points. And this guy, maybe not so far.
Okay.
Now you see why he was still standing. At the end.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Okay, so that was his action that he was holding on to. He now has another action before the end of this round, and he's going to lay down another line of suppressing fire.
Now, I'm gonna pull a Clint here and potentially hurt myself.
Mm-hmm.
On this second round, wouldn't they wake up at that one, because that's the end of my next turn?
No,
they wouldn't.
No, because you basically jumped ahead of him in line already.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
So
All right,
that was still the last round when you did that. Now it's going to come around to your next action after he's done with this one, and then they're going to come.
They
back.
wake up.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, there was just enough. And then rolling damage here.
Feel like
he does 8. So these other guys are all
post
laid waste.
Hell yes. Feel like doing what I did without knowing what he was capable of was bold, but now I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. So I am going to roll for a dex saving throw for him again on this one.
Yep. He's going to botch it.
He got that. All right. So he dove for cover out of that one.
He's getting pretty good at diving for cover.
And let me get my measuring tools out of there because these are gone now. And now that dude's dead. That dude's still stunned. It comes around to you.
Okay. Well, we've been so unlucky thus far. We got to get this car out of here. It's our only... I'm convinced that being able to get this fucking thing out of here. So yeah, so we'll try the car, but then I'll hit him with the Divine Light as a bonus action if it don't work.
Okay.
Vehicles, right?
Yep.
Yes!
There you go.
Finally!
Jake, who had basically popped up through the sunroof,
Mm-hmm.
uh, gets the hint when you are like sputtering, and he rolls out the back of it, gets into the back of the bed of the truck, and
Nice.
that's just enough weight to get you the traction that you need, and then you take off.
Nice.
And I'm assuming directly for the Enforcer, correct?
You know what? Not intentionally, but since that is where he
That's where he's
dove.
pointed.
Yep, that's where. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, that's where he dove to, and that's where the truck is pointed. That's where we're going.
And I don't think he can dive for cover because he just dove for cover into your direction.
I'll
So
take it.
I think, let's see, we got to figure out how much damage this is going to do. Yeah, okay, so I guess that's going to be I'm going to do it there. And does 19 points of damage.
That's truck for you. Let's go.
All right. So you hit him, and he is just in the process of trying to get up, and you just hear thump, thump, and you just double tap him as you
Hell
run
yeah.
over him.
Hell yeah. And then we want to turn away from the tree, get back on the road there. The
Mhm.
idea being to head up to the truck where Henry is, help him, get him in the car, and then get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
And then if we get, what I'd like to do is get down there and get Henry in my truck and then keep driving this thing home too. Take it so we now have an extra truck and also
Gotcha.
some evidence and shit.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to drag you guys over here. So we can take you and the truck at the same time.
Yep. And the best part is the confusion we've caused among these people and the shepherds. That should set them back for a while.
Yeah.
So, like,
by the time you get up here, you see Henry, who has pulled the guy that was in the truck out of the truck, and is
good.
laying him in the kiddie pool. Oops. Right over here.
Yeah, good. So Henry had a
and
great time.
is getting back in the truck along with you guys.
Hell yes. We're taking 3 trucks home, baby. Let's go.
And yeah, you go back, pick up your truck, and you got another truck to take back home with you.
It's going to take us a while, but yeah, we getting out of there with 3 trucks. What we're coming, we left with 1 truck, coming back with 3, killed some assholes in the process. I'm going to call it a day.
So the news that you can bring back is for sure the sleepers were attempting to go in league with the folks at Good Shepherd, but now, at your best guess, you have to think that they think that the Shepherd of the Hills are enemies, because apparently they had some people lying in wait that were going to, turn on them. So you might have just potentially started a war between the Shepherd of the Hills and the Sleepers.
Aw, darn. That's great. I didn't want them teaming up. This is fantastic news. What a lovely day.
All right. Well, I'm glad you got a chance to play Papaw again. I know you've been itching to get your hands back on it.
Oh, you know I love Papaw, buddy. You know I love Papaw. Hey, if you don't care, you stick around for a sec after you stop the actual stream.
Yeah, no problem. I'll say goodbye to everybody out there in Twitch land and YouTube land for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Hopefully, in 2 weeks we'll be back with the season finale of Whispers in Time, and then probably take about 2 weeks and then work on new characters for the next leg of that campaign, which will be taking us into Japan. So thanks for joining us tonight on this little foray. We appreciate you all coming out, and we'll see you next time around. Have a good night, everybody.